All right, well, it's a beautiful morning and it is our first batch processing day. So we're gonna try and kind of walk you through the process here of all the steps of this operation. So the first thing we gotta do, get the chickens out of the pen. Alright, so we went down the road about 10 miles. We're over at my uncle's farm. This is actually the farm where I grew up. And this is where we built our processing facility last year. So we brought the chickens over here. Cattle trailer may be a little bit overkill for hauling chickens, but I had to bring this back over anyway. So once we get here, the first thing we got to do is get all the equipment set up, cleaned, and sanitized. And so that's a little bit of a process. Takes a little bit to get up and running, but helps us ensure we've got a really high quality and really sanitary product at the end of the process. All right, so we've got a 3-step process here. Everything's got to be soaped down, and then rinsed. Judah's rinsing off our drain table right now, and then sanitized. So Matthew's getting ready to do that, and we go down and spray everything down with a bleach solution, kill any remaining bacteria before we get started. So that happens on all of our surfaces that touch the chicken, and then all of our utensils as well. All right, so we got everything cleaned up, everything's prepped, everything's sanitized. Now we're ready to get going. I thought I'd give you a quick walkthrough of our process. So it all starts here. So we've got all the chickens unloaded right here, ready to go. Not doing too many today, only about 65 or so, kind of a dry run. They come here. This is our kill cone stand. So this is where the exsanguination takes place. So the birds go in here into the cone, we cut the throats and let them bleed out in the cones. And once they're completely bled out and stop moving and twitching, then from there they come over here to the scalder. So this is a hot water bath, and this paddle in here on the inside circulates it. So when I turn it off and on, I'll put the birds in here, and then it circulates them in and out of that hot water bath and loosens up the feathers and makes them easier for them to pull. You can see there's a little bit of soap in there that also helps loosen up the feathers and get the hot water down into those follicles to let the feathers come out. So they'll be in there for about a minute and a half, coming in and out of the water. Then they come over here to the plucker. So we can do up to 4 birds at a time in this plucker, so they'll come straight out of the scalder, and we just drop them in here, and then this thing rotates, spins them around, the birds will tumble around in here, and it plucks the feathers off of them, and they're gonna come out back here on the backside. They'll be in there maybe 30 seconds or so, and then they're done. They come out nice and clean. I pull them out of the plucker, and they go here onto this table, where I will remove heads, feet, and tail before they go inside. So everything out here is what we call the dirty side, meaning this is a little bit dirty in this side. So there's a lot of blood, a lot of guts, and even fecal matter left over from these chickens. But once they go inside, then we've switched to the clean side, and so we're a lot more careful and strict with contamination from this point. So once the heads, tails, and legs come off, then they come in here and go to this drain table. And so this is just a spot where they are prepped and waiting to get eviscerated, let any fluids drain out as they're ready to move on. Then this is Hannah's domain. This is her table. This is the evisceration table. So right here, she'll take them off of the drain table, and she's gonna remove the guts. So the guts, the lungs, and the heart all come out. Guts go in the trash, Hearts and lungs we keep. We have some people that like them for pet food and some people eat it as well. From here, they go into this tank. Once the guts are removed, they go into this tank and it's just a cold water bath. And this is the first step in trying to get the body temperature down on those birds. And they'll sit in there for probably 10 or 15 minutes of just an initial heat soak to get that body heat out. Then they go over here to this table. This is what we call our QA/QC table, or quality assurance, quality control. So the birds that aren't done are on this side of the PVC, and this is where we do a final check of them for any remaining pin feathers, just little bits of dirt or debris or anything still on that carcass before it goes in the chill tank. Once they're done, then we move them back here. This apparatus just gives a constant stream of water so I can work with both hands and the water kind of rinses the birds off as we go. Once they're completely clean, they come over here. This is our chill tank. And this is still filling right now with cold water. We're going to dump a bunch of ice in here. And this is where the birds sit again trying to get that body temperature down. We need to get these birds down to 40 degrees within about 3 hours. So that takes quite a bit of ice, quite a bit of cooling. Once that's done, there's one of two things going to happen. They're either going to get packaged as whole birds, which we just shrink wrap them, and then they go into the fridge over here, or they're going to get cut up. So this is, then we pull them out of here and we go into our cut up process, breaking them down into breast, thighs, legs, etc. But this is kind of the end of the line for the processing, and then we turn into kind of packaging and cutting from here.